Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with my post-fight thoughts, post-fight reaction to Miranda Maverick versus Maycee Barber. All right, y'all. So I was in and out the first time around. I was busy, so I didn't get a chance to watch the fight all the way through the first time. But I watched it a second time, and I got a chance to, see every bit of action, first round, second round, and third round. And before I watched it the second time, I was already hearing everybody's thoughts on the fight, how they felt like it went. And, everybody saying again that this fight was a robbery. And, you know how I feel about the term robbery. I'm very picky about what I call a robbery. But with that being said, fan pick aside, favorite, whoever I favorite, put all that aside. I do think this fight was a robbery. I really do think this fight was a robbery because one fighter worked harder than the other. And to me, in my opinion, I think that fighter worked hard enough to win 2 rounds, and they had the opportunity taken from them. They had their fight taken away from them. I think Miranda Maverick, she did enough to win 2 rounds in this fight. It was competitive at times in the second, and the third round did go to Maycee Barber, but I think that Miranda Maverick, she did enough to bag 2 rounds, and she won a unanimous decision. This fight should have been a unanimous decision Miranda Maverick's way. I mean, there's really not much else to really break down about it whenever you look at this fight as far as saying, it could have gone either way. I think Miranda Maverick was the more effective fighter in the first round. Usually that's like a feel-out round for, both fighters, but Miranda Maverick, she took it in her hands to get an early lead. She was the effective striker. She was backing Maycee Barber up, who, we all favor as the puncher, but it was Miranda Maverick who was dictating the pace in the first round, landing good body shots, good body attack, good straight left hands. She was landing more shots in the first round. The second round, Maycee got a takedown but didn't get much with it. But it was Miranda Maverick who, again, was putting the pressure on and landing the better strikes and finished it with a much better effective takedown. She finished on the back of Maycee Barber in the second round. And, of course, the third round, Miranda, she started to fade a little bit. She took a few shots from Maycee Barber, but nothing big. She was never hurt. The only signature punch that everybody was showing was the elbow or spinning back fist from Maycee Barber. Maycee getting the takedown and really just doing some clinch work to earn the third round. But even DC said it in the third round. Like, I usually don't pay attention to commentary, but DC stated that Maycee Barber had to do something impressive. She really had to do something impressive at this point, because I think he was feeling like Maycee Barber was losing the fight. And then when you go back to the second round, they knew Miranda Maverick was up in the striking numbers. She was landing the more significant strikes, and she topped the round off with a much effective takedown. And then going back to the first round, you could hear it in Maycee Barber's corner. Uriah Faber was like, hey, you got to land something, because she was throwing a lot of shots and she was missing. But it was Miranda Maverick who was being much more effective and landing good kicks to the body and good straight left hands. And, she also landed a good uppercut, too, on the inside. She was actually much more effective on the inside than Maycee Barber. Good uppercut snap Maycee Barber's head back, So I think Miranda Maverick just was all around a much effective striker. She, was striking wisely, like I said, was the key to victory, and much more effective in the grappling. Again, Maycee didn't turn it up until the third round, which is what I said my keys to victory. You got to look for a finish for Miranda's side and Maycee's side, but more so for Miranda because Maycee was going to come on strong. Maycee is she is a third round fighter. She will pick it up in the second and third round, and she definitely did in that third round. She was looking to, do something big, but again, Miranda Maverick was just too strong and durable, and she was able to fend her off. She ate the best shots from Maycee Barber, never was rocked. She landed the better punches, in my opinion, and I think the punch stat numbers for this fight really do contribute to the winner. Much more effective again with the kicks, and Maycee was just not landing anything effective in the first 2 rounds. So my reaction after the second round and already knowing the result, I was like, I ain't gotta watch anymore. Because Miranda Maverick bagged 2 rounds. But, of course, I did watch the third round, and I was like, okay, Maycee did enough to win this round, but she's going to have to get a knockout. She's going to have to get a knockout or a submission win because Miranda had this in the bag. She did way much more effective work in the first and second round. So anybody that's trying to feel like, okay, this is their way to say that Miranda Maverick is not a favorite or not a solid prospect anymore, they're just reaching. You're just reaching now because this fight was Miranda Maverick's fight. And, this is one time I agree with everybody. I mean, even some of the best fighters in the world are like, what? They're like, what? This is a robbery. And in my opinion, this one was a robbery. Like I said, there was no over-the-top competitive moments where, like, this was Lauren versus JoJo, or, you know, Andrea Lee versus Lauren Murphy. You know, there was really no toe-to-toe back-and-forth action where we had to pick and choose what it was we liked. Miranda Maverick did enough. She was active. She was the aggressor. She landed the better shots in the first round. Second round, she dictated the pace, landed the better shots again, did the better work with her takedown. The only takedown Maycee Barber got in the second round was one that Miranda Maverick bounced back up from. You know, so this, in my opinion, was a robbery. I do think this was a robbery. And, I just hope at some point, you know, they will really get more competent judges in boxing and MMA. I think they were just out to break that losing streak for Maycee Barber, you know, since she's back-to-back on a back-to-back losing streak, and they really want to push her because she's a little bit more popular in their eyes, and she's one they want to hype up more. That's how I see it. But shout out to Miranda Maverick. I think she did enough to win the fight, but it is one of those situations where, like I said, you know, in my past podcast episode, which I just did a few days ago, you got to beat all four of those opponents of yours. You know, the person in front of you, and those three judges. You know, so let me know in the comment section, guys, what y'all think. Like I said, hey, I'm standing by this one because I'm definitely standing by Miranda in this one as definitely a top prospect, because, you know, they just robbed her of a victory. You know, she's still a solid prospect, has good striking and overall fight game. You know, anybody counting her out is just a casual. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.